made it to Iowa 80, the world's largest truck stop. Always wanted to come here. Normally not a big fan of truck stops, but I don't know, I feel like this is one of those places that you just have to see. I've watched a lot of other people's videos and a lot of pictures, and they don't do it justice to the actual size of the place and what's inside. One half of it, they got their typical traveling truck stop kind of tourist destination with souvenirs and things like that. Had a food court, kind of like the mall. They did have a sit-down restaurant. They had a whole truck parts chrome shop that I didn't really film because I was too busy just looking at everything. A lot of vehicles on display. It's pretty neat. But the real reason I wanted to come here is because they have a trucking museum, and I love museums. I like cars and trucks and really anything with wheels. They had a lot of really cool vintage iron in this place. A lot of memorabilia. One-of-a-kind trucks nobody's ever seen or heard of. Toys. Die-cast type vehicles. It's a pretty cool vintage pen collection from different manufacturers. This Ford camper back there in the back had a gas-powered generator under the hood. It's kind of wild. Never seen nothing like that before. I loved how all the vehicles were like in original like condition from whoever they were. You know, a lot of these vehicles were bought brand new by certain companies and used as company vehicles, and that livery and the names and colors and all that was exactly how it would have been back in the day. This was a massive truck. They had pictures like this all over with pictures of the trucks from back in their prime. I've never seen a Fordson tractor with tracks on it. I feel like I need to own one. I'm sure that's pretty hard to find. I couldn't imagine hauling heavy loads with some of these early 1900s trucks. Solid rubber bands and chain drives. This is one truck I've been really looking forward to checking out because it's a 1959 921C Diamond T. It's the closest thing I've been able to find to my 933C that I own. Of course, this one's been fully restored, back to original. It's got the slightly smaller 195 Cummins, same transmission, same rear end as mine. It's pretty cool to see one all back to original. This one's got a sleeper on top of the cab. This one's wild. This is a all 100% stainless steel bodied auto car. Like, it's absolutely insane if somebody made that out of stainless steel. You'll notice some of these trucks are fully restored, some are untouched, some are really rough. Iowa 80 actually owns most of these vehicles, and they actually restore them, and they keep the ones on display until they get restored. There are a few privately owned vehicles in this collection. It still amazes me at the sheer, like, for one, the volume of trucks, the amount of trucks, but also the wide variety of different types of trucks from different years, different styles, different industries. Like, it's a truly incredible display of vintage big trucks. And they've done a great job of preserving and organizing all this. This one was really cool to see. Like, you don't see a lot of low boys or how they hauled equipment 100-something years ago, but this early 1900s low boy with a chain-driven truck and a Caterpillar dozer on it was pretty cool to see. Then there's this neat Coca-Cola painting machine that would paint the bottle crates. Kind of random, but nonetheless cool. We had a great time at the Iowa 80 truck stop in the trucking museum, but it's time to get back on the road and start making our way south back towards home. I didn't film at all, but we probably stopped 5 or 6 times within a couple hour period of leaving the truck stop to see some antique shops. So just something me and the wife like to do. As it started getting dark and we were coming up on St. Louis, we were running low on fuel. We pulled in this little town. We went to 5 out of 6 fuel stations before we found 93, and I think I had to pay like $4.95 a gallon for it. Well, we're in St. Louis for the night. Truck's parked up somewhere in the parking garage. We're staying at this super fancy Drury Plaza Hotel. It's actually pretty cheap, but it's like super nice. There's the arch. That's pretty neat. This wasn't a super fancy 5-star hotel, but for the type of places we normally stay, this was really fancy. They had a waterfall water feature right when you come in the front door. A lot of brass and gold colored touches on everything. Way too fancy of a hotel for me, but it's cool. It was like $150 too a night, which is not that bad. And then we had this crazy long walk. Very last door at the very end. We had a real short walk to the arch. We didn't have a lot of time and there was something else we wanted to do in the city, so we didn't. We ended up just walking around and checking everything out and not spend the 2 hours it probably would have taken to ride their little tram or whatever it is to the top. I did find some pretty nice welds from the early 60s on the stainless steel exterior, nice and straight. Now we're at the point of what we really wanted to see, the City Museum. If you've never heard of it, you should check it out. It's a playground for adults, kids of all ages. It's basically a giant art installation started by a couple of local artists and just continued over the years from hundreds of other artists, but it's really neat, especially if you like metal fabrication and metal artwork. It's all very abstract and real, repurposed materials. Old airplane fuselages and buses, cranes. Truly a one-of-a-kind experience, and we'll definitely be coming back. But it's a kid's jungle gym. Like, we were feeling it the next morning when we woke up. Some areas are kids only, like meaning as an adult-sized person you're not crawling in that space, but that didn't stop us from trying some parts of it. Here I am sitting in an old dragline crane. It still had the original Murphy diesel engine in the back of it. That was pretty cool. I mean, they literally have repurposed any and everything you could imagine. Hi, Freddy's.
That's live fun.
So many different levels and areas you could go. They were all different from each other, unique in their own ways. I'm pretty sure these are like the anvils used in like our panel siding. That's what they look like. All of this was made out of concrete, sculpted by hand. It went, I don't know, 2 or 3 stories down. Just a maze of concrete and stairs and steel. Real easy to get lost, but you could always easily find a way out too. It just might not be where you thought you were going. They had stairs and slides literally going everywhere. Then they had this really cool rooftop attraction, which you had to pay extra for, but in my opinion, it's worth it. this giant praying mantis. From what I can tell, it was made out of stainless steel and then painted. The bus overhanging the ledge of the building. Looking down at the parking lot. This area is definitely not for the claustrophobic, because there were times where we were bear crawling and on the floor in a steel tunnel that was as wide as us and almost touching our backs. Like this one here, really tiny and small. Well, we got in there and we enjoyed it and did not get stuck, so that's good. Like I said in the beginning, this is a great place. You and your wife, you and your girlfriend, husband, boyfriend, whatever. Bring your kids along. Great for the family. Something to do for everybody. I'll be honest though, if you're a helicopter type parent that has to keep tabs on your kid every single second and hold their hand, this might not be the place, because again, it's a giant maze. It's kind of easy to get lost, but you're also in the same building. There's dozens of ways in and out of places and some dead ends. Pretty sure those were feathers hanging from the ceiling. And these are like bread pans. That was a lot of fun. We will definitely be back as they continue to keep adding art and things and improving the place. But once again, we're back on the road. We've got a couple days to head south and get back home. So we really had no more plans of stopping. Like, we were going to try to make it as far as we could, but we kept seeing these signs for these caverns, and their advertising was really good, their marketing was really good, and we had to stop, check it out. We were not disappointed. It's actually the first time we've ever been to a cavern together. Apparently Billy the Kid hid out here at some point. Another really neat experience to see. I've been to a cavern once, back when I was really little, but I don't really remember it, so it was kind of cool to get to see it again and actually truly experience it this time. They had this really cool lighting effect where this looked like infinitely deep with the way the lights hit the water, but it was actually like less than 6 inches. You can see the bottom right there when you get out of the reflection. Then you come back in the light and it looks like it's hundreds of feet deep. great experience at Merrimack Caverns. I highly suggest and recommend going to check that out if you're ever in Missouri. It is time to continue heading south. As we're driving, I noticed that we need to wash the windows, the windshield, and every time we stop to get fuel, I forget to wash the windshield. The windshield washer system needs new sprayers because it doesn't spray all the way to the top and it just kind of smears it. Otherwise, I would just use that, but I really just need to remember to do it when we get fuel. Well, we spent a little too much time sightseeing and was really trying to get to our Airbnb before dark, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen. Typically don't film in the dark because there's not really much to see, but I just decided to keep the camera rolling here as we kind of got the sunset in the background and time lapse of it going from day to night. It's kind of cool. We eventually made it to our cabin. There's no real cell service out here, so I kept taking screenshots of the map. These headlights do some weird things in the camera in the time lapse. They kind of look like eyelashes. But we made it.
Well, it's another morning. It's day 12, I think. 12 or 13, I don't know. Saturday. We are in southern like southwest Missouri, right at the edge of the Ozarks. Probably like 20 miles to Arkansas, I think. I don't know. We don't have cell service. There's no Wi-Fi here. But we're about to point this thing south, and I think we got 600 miles to home, about 600 to 700 hours. Again, I can't verify that because I don't have service, but the plan is to get home tonight. So nice little cabin in the woods. We got good tire pressure. Still got our AC switch rigged. We got no hoses melted, no leaks. We've murdered a lot of bugs though. Truck's running great. We were cruising 85 or 90 for like 3 hours yesterday on the way up here. So we're gonna fire it up and head south, I guess. Cold start.
This nice little cabin we found is called Cabin at the Falls. It's got a waterfall right outside the front door. Unfortunately, there hadn't been any rain for a while up here, so there was no waterfall, but it was still cool to see. Maybe someday we can come back when the water's flowing. I'm sure it'd be pretty peaceful sitting down there in a chair. But for now, we gotta pack up and we gotta hit the road. I knew we were in the middle of nowhere when the paved road quickly turned to dirt. And then we had some AC trouble where it shut off again. It ended up actually being low on Freon, so I used that can I bought earlier in the trip. We had this nice old farmer gentleman stop, make sure we were doing okay. A little bit of Freon and we're back on the road. Well, the AC charge was a quick fix because here it is out again. Pulled in O'Reilly's. Rented their $300 AC gauges. Thankfully, I'll get my money back. Just wanted to make sure our compressor was good, everything was working well. Trying to figure out what's going on because, again, I can't find a leak anywhere visually. Everything checked out good. I bought a couple more cans and topped it off, and we'll see how long it lasts. Like 200 miles and I put in close to 20 ounces of Freon. It's leaking substantially somewhere, but I can't find it. Thought maybe a hole in the condenser, but that's not the case. back to the Dallas area, so close to home. One quick stop to pick up the puppy at doggy daycare, and our road trip is complete. Well, it's the end of our road trip. We made it back home last night. We actually made it before dark. I just didn't record anything till today, but we went a total of 2,981 miles on our road trip, so that's pretty. 3,000 was kind of the goal and where I thought we'd be. We hit that pretty close. Like you've seen in the rest of the videos, we didn't have too many crazy problems. We did learn some things, so just firing up, backing it in the shop. The AC has 0 Freon in it, so it's leaking somewhere. My guess is maybe, I don't know, we could have a hose come loose somewhere. I can't visibly see it leaking anywhere, but it's definitely out of Freon, which that happened once in the trip, so we got to address that. I've got this pressure sensor bypass, which is not good on the compressor with it pretty much out of Freon, but either this is getting hot and melting inside, that's definitely what happened to the first one, or it's getting hot because the plug is wore out and it moves around. So I got to address that. Also, the compressor may already be damaged because it's slinging grease and stuff out. I don't know. Got a little bit of oil seepage down here, which means the turbo seal's probably going. So that's pretty normal. Fuel pressure, I don't know. We got this good use sensor and it's working, but it increases with boost. It's like it's set for 60 pounds. With basically the truck not running. With it running, the vacuum pulls it down to low 50s, like 52, 53. When you're kind of cruising, it'll drop down to 47. But sometimes when you start giving it throttle, it'll go down to like low 30. But then it will start building back up a little bit when you get under boost. It never runs weird. It never acts strange. Like, I don't think it's 100% accurate, and it may be the way this regulator is routed, because it's fuel in and then it's basically returning to the rail, so like it's getting split. I probably need like rail pressure sensor, like move this to the rail. I really just need an aftermarket rail that has the feed going in and then the regulator on the back side after all the injectors. That'd probably be more accurate. When you get down about a quarter tank, it starts reading like 20 psi. So we got that to work on. Brakes pretty much the same. Not awful, but they could probably be a little bit better. She'd creep up to 230, 225 in heavy stop and go traffic. Thinking either better quality fans that put out more CFM, or possibly some hood vents, which I don't want to do. I don't know. A bunch of little things we learned we got to work on. We didn't have any oil. Well, I say we didn't have any oil. We didn't have any transmission leaks, nothing crazy. We are seeping some oil out of the front cover where those turbo drain fittings are welded in, which I did not weld in, so that's kind of frustrating. I bought it like that. Tires did well. I never actually got a spare. Still got that yoke leaking. Honestly, never did check it. It's not making noise, so I'm gonna check it now before we go really driving it anymore. But overall, the truck did flawlessly. Like, I'm thoroughly happy and impressed with everything. Fuel pressure situation's kind of frustrating because it's intermittent and it's weird. Same with the AC. Like, when he first started having trouble with that switch, I checked it a couple times. It wasn't low on Freon, and then bam, just out of nowhere. Was it yesterday? Yeah, we had to add Freon twice. Like, there's no visible signs of leaks. Typically, you get a bad enough leak, you can see the oil in the system somewhere. So I don't know. Those are the things to kind of work out and tweak. We never had any problems with hubs or anything getting hot. Old Red just cruised down the highway at however fast you wanted to go. 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, don't care. The boost is there when you want it, and if you don't want it, well, it drives like a normal, naturally aspirated truck. Could get 16 miles to the gallon if I kept my foot out of it, but that wasn't very fun, so most of the time we kind of averaged 13 and a half, 14. But if you cruise at 68, it's about 2,100 RPMs, and you just drove it easy, like never got into boost, never listened to the blow-off valve or none of that. You could get, I got like 16.2 at one point. But if you wanted to cruise at 80 or 85 and hear all the turbo noise and the blow-off valve and all that, then you were going to get 12 and a half to 13. But honestly, it's not awful. Like, fun little truck with 530 horsepower. And you can still get 12 or 13. Like, I'm happy with it. So yeah, everything did flawless. We're back home. Right at 3,000, just under 3,000 miles. It's a good trip. Happy to be home, but also kind of sad that we aren't still out there enjoying life to the fullest and checking out a bunch of stuff along the way. So I still got some things to unload, some things to unpack. At some point I'll dive into the AC and all these other little issues and tweaks we want to address. So that's going to be it for this series of videos. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for checking it out, stopping by the shop, hanging out with us outside the shop on our road trip, and really appreciate all the love, and we'll see you on the next one.